James, 7 days ago, Liverpool fans could have been forgiving for viewing the week's cup ties against the Premier League's top two with some degree of trepidation, but a week on, things are looking an awful lot brighter.
They certainly are. Yeah, it's been quite a remarkable week, really. When you think we were sat here a week ago, with an inquest going on into possibly the lowest point of Kenny Dalglish's second stint in the job, and a pretty miserable defeat at Bolton. Everyone was down in the dumps and worrying about where Liverpool were heading. And 7 days on, the mood's absolutely been transformed. The manager asked some big questions of his players after that defeat at the Reebok. He questioned their attitude, their desire, their commitment, and the answers have been there for all to see. The last week, it was a fantastic performance to get past Manchester City in the Carling Cup, fully deserved. And then on Saturday, it was always going to be difficult. 3 days after putting so much into that first cup tie, to then pit your wits against Manchester United. And it wasn't a classic by any means, but they kept on going and got their reward in the end. And just two very special days at Anfield in the space of about 65 hours.
It was a real team performance on Saturday, but two characters who have had probably more than their fair share of criticism in recent times, Dirk Kuyt and Andy Carroll, were both came to the fore for the Reds.
He really did, yeah. I mean, just delighted for Dirk Kuyt, really, because he's had a real tough time of it this season. He's been a great servant to the club. 6 years he's been at Anfield, and he always gives so much for the cause. He's a selfless individual who works tirelessly. And it'd been a long time. Brighton in the Carling Cup back in September, his last goal, and you could see he's been a bit short of confidence this season. He's lost his place as a regular starter. You can see that's kind of dented his confidence a bit. But he came off the bench on Saturday and made a massive difference. He took that goal so well, and you could see just how much it meant to him. I spoke to him afterwards, and he said, in many ways, it probably meant more to him than the hat-trick he scored against Man United last season, because the context of the game and just how much it meant to everyone to knock out United. And similarly, Andy Carroll, he's had a lot of stick this season. He hasn't been able to hold down a regular spot, been in and out of the side, question marks over whether he really fits into Liverpool's style of play. But he really put a shift in on Saturday, put himself about. Big part in the first goal when he made a real nuisance of himself in front of David De Gea, and then for the winner, obviously it was his flick on that set up Kuyt. But it was more his general efforts as well. He chasing down lost causes, causing problems throughout, and I think that was probably one of Andy Carroll's best afternoons in a Liverpool shirt.
Thrilled that Liverpool fans will have been with the last week's performances. Tomorrow night at Wolves provides exactly the kind of test that they've come up short in too often this season. Can they turn it round at Molineux?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the next challenge facing them, isn't it? Because I don't think getting yourself up for Man City or to play Manchester United was ever really going to be an issue. I think two packed crowds at Anfield was always going to inspire Liverpool. Now they have to show that same level of desire and commitment and attitude when they go to Wolves. It's not going to be easy down there. Wolves have had more time to prepare, and they've caused Liverpool problems over the years down there. It's absolutely paramount that Liverpool now take this cup form into the league, because Steven Gerrard spoke recently about arguably the top priority this season is getting into the top four and bringing Champions League football back to Anfield. And with 16 games to go, a 6-point deficit is certainly not insurmountable. But Liverpool are going to have to win at places like Wolves, and let's remember there's another massive game coming up at home to Tottenham next Monday night, and Liverpool do need to go into that one against Spurs on a high.
As well as the game at Wolves tomorrow will mark the end of the January transfer window, can you see any business in and out taking place in Anfield?
No, I think it'll be quiet. I mean, I think ideally they would still like to bring a striker in. I think they've got a few irons in the fire, but not clear as yet whether anything will happen. But no, it's certainly not going to be as dramatic as the last day of the January window a year ago. Obviously there's reports in the Sunday papers that Liverpool had offered Andy Carroll to Manchester City in a swap deal for Carlos Tevez. Liverpool are absolutely, categorically denying those reports, saying no such offer was made. Said they're fundamentally untrue. I think there is something in Liverpool having an interest in Carlos Tevez. I think if they could have any kind of a situation where they'd be able to bring him on loan to the end of the season. I think that is something that would interest Kenny Dalglish, but sadly it's very unlikely that would happen, because Manchester City, one, I think they'd rather Carlos Tevez went abroad, and secondly, they want him off the payroll. They want, they want to get a fee for him, and Liverpool certainly aren't in a position to match, a £25 million asking price. So I don't think anything's going to happen on that one. But I think it'd be interesting to see what does happen if they can get a striker in before tomorrow night. I think they probably will do that.